So what's up guys, my name is Felipe and welcome to Code Zero. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Felipe Ramos Kafuri and I am a software engineer student of Federal University of Goiás. I'm from Brazil and I'm 20 years old. The meaning why I created this channel is because I want to improve my English speaking, and I also want to help the community. They are starting, and the community that wants to code using JavaScript and using the best practices. And I also want to learn with you guys. I want to improve my software development skills and help you guys improve yours. So knowing that, what I'm meant to this video is to create a C.R.U.D, but not on this video. We're gonna be creating the C.R.U.D. We're gonna be creating the C.R.U.D along the next video, but on this video we're gonna be creating the template for our application, installing the Eslint, the Prettier, and some dependencies, some first dependencies that we're gonna be needing. So first of all, we have to init our project, of course, and then we have to add TypeScript as dev dependencies because we're gonna be using TypeScript and Node. So we run this command over here, which is gonna we will run yarn init /-y, which is gonna come with our package.js, and then we run to add TypeScript as dev dependency because we're not gonna be needing TypeScript in our production. I would say sorry about my English because not the best one. So as I told you, the meaning of the channel is to improve my English. So okay, we're gonna add also express that we're gonna be needing over here, and we're gonna init our tsc file, which is a file of a configuration file for TypeScript that we're gonna be using here, and we're gonna be changing some configurations over here. So we're gonna change ES5 to ES 2017. We're gonna also allow JS. We're gonna also allow those two. We're gonna also allow those two options over here, and those out here. Our out here is our this folder, which we're gonna be our folder for our distribution that their code will be compiled for. We're gonna also allow this option over here, and we're gonna change this to source, and because our base URL, our base code, all of our code is going to be inside of source. So all of our code is going to be inside of folder called source. We can also create here source, and we're gonna have those two options here, which is experimental decorators and decorators metadata, because we're gonna need these two options for type ORM, which is gonna be the ORM that we're gonna be using to connect with the database. So with all those things done, what we're gonna be doing is I like to delete all of this because I like to let this file clean as possible. Clean this. And okay, if you skip something of these configurations, you can look down the link down below and check with the repository that is on the description. So now that we have this configuration file here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding Eslint as dev dependencies always. We're gonna be using dev dependencies when we don't need those dependencies on the production. If we got a dependencies that we need on the production, we gotta add as a normal dependency. So we're gonna initialize Eslint file configuration. So we're gonna ask us some questions. On the first questions, we answer with check syntax, find problems, and enforce code style. We are using JavaScript modules, import and export. We are not using React, neither Vue.js, but we are using TypeScript. We are not using browser, we are using Node, so you select with the space. We're gonna be using popular style guide, and here normally I choose or Airbnb or standard, but on my last two projects I use standard, so I'm gonna be using standard. I'm enjoying using standard a lot. Like the file as JSON because we have the autocomplete, the IntelliSense. So on these questions over here, they ask me if I want to install with npm. I'm using yarn, but I can install with npm and then just delete the packet.log file and run yarn again. As this is running, I'm going to create over here a server.ts file to show you guys something. If I import express from express over here, what I will get is an error, because when you install a library or a package in JavaScript, normally they don't come with those types. I think, in my opinion, all of those libraries should come with those types by default, but they don't. Some of them don't come, and Express is one of them. So we gotta install them manually. So what we're gonna be doing here is install Express as we're gonna be installing the types of Express, and those types we're gonna be using as dev dependencies, because we don't need those types on production, because our production code will be compiled to JavaScript. Our production code is not TypeScript, it's JavaScript, so we don't need those types in production. So if we install that, we're gonna be the error has gone. You can see the error has gone, and you can just const app express and app.listen on our port over here, and we can do a console.log server started on port 3332. So you can let this over here for the moment and go back to our Eslint file over here. What I'm going to be doing here is just change the indent for this, and now I'm going to be adding over here some configurations so that the Eslint can work with Prettier. I'm going to be adding install Prettier. We're going to need those three dependencies over here: Prettier, Eslint config Prettier, and Eslint plugin Prettier as dev dependencies, because we're not going to be needing them on the production. And we're going to be adding those configurations over here. You can add you can check those configurations on the GitHub repository. I highly recommend you visit the GitHub repository, because I'm not going to be passing one by one configuration over here, but it is basically configuration for the Prettier work with TypeScript and with Eslint without any conflict. On those rules, we're gonna I will pass in some of these rules. Along the videos, I'm probably gonna be adding new rules over here. I'm gonna be adding these rules with you guys, but now I'm gonna start with just these rules over here with Prettier/Prettier with a warn. Isn't for errors that Prettier comes with give me, just not give me an error. Indeed, it's gonna be give me a warn. Camel case off, because I want to create variables, camel case variables. No useless constructor. This is I'm over engineer over here, but it's okay, because I'm gonna be in the future videos, I'm probably gonna be adding dependency injection, so I'm gonna be needing this for useless constructor. And this is just for importing files and exporting files without the extension name. Okay, so if now what we're gonna have to do here is add .eslint ignore file, ignore file. This is for Eslint to ignore some folders that I don't want it to be watching. You don't have to put like this, just like this. Okay, and we also need to add prettier.config.js file, and we're going to be adding those configurations over here, which is semi-false. I don't want semicolon. Single quote. I want our strings to be with single quote. Here is with double quote, but I will explain why. Trailing comma. In the end of the line, I don't want trailing comma. I want to be without trailing comma. And end of line is when I save. When I save the file, I always want to have at the end some line in the end that is empty. So if the code finishes on line 7, the line 8 will be empty. Now you ask me why this is not working right now. It's just because when you make some changes with Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V in Eslint files, the VS Code does not recognize them, so you just have to reload the window, and then we're gonna get our configuration done. Something that I forgot to do is to delete. Probably will not be working because of that. To delete the package log over here and run yarn. I need the dependencies to be mapped. I delete the package.json. So if I go back in here and press Ctrl+S, you can see that our single quote came. And if I go to our server over here, you're gonna see that we have some warnings. And if we save the file, it will auto save for us. If I try to put a trailing comma over here, it will save for us without the trailing comma, as we expected. One more thing that I want to do over here is to add an editor config file. This editor config file you can find on your extensions here, editor config for VS Code. And you just generate a editor config file over here, and I'm gonna just change those two options here for to true. And now I think everything is running okay. Now, so what do I need to do to run this code over here? By default, as I told you, Node does not recognize TypeScript. Node just run JavaScript code. So to solve that problem, I'm gonna add NODEJS, which is a dependency that's gonna make the node understand TypeScript. So it will transpile simultaneously our code to JavaScript and make Node understand. I'm not sure if makes it clear, but I hope it's clear. If you have some doubt, please leave on the comment. And okay, for that, so after we installed this, we're gonna be needing a script. Scripts are shortcuts that we write so that we don't need to write the full command to run a file. So now you can give any name you want for this script, but I usually like to call it dev, and we're gonna add some options over here. The first one is ts node dev -- inspect -- transpile only -- ignore node modules. I don't want node modules to be written by ts node dev every time that I save. And the file is server.ts. So one of those things that ts node dev does is to watch our code. So if I change something in my code, if I come over here and change something and then press Ctrl+S, it will reload our server and see the changes that I've done and apply them. So if I run our script over here, yarn dev, what gonna have is our server started. So if I run our script over here, we're gonna have that our server has started. Yes. it took a little bit because my VS Code, I don't know what happened, but it's really fast. And if I change anything in here and press Ctrl S again, you can see that that reload is really fast. If I put something here like console, a console log hello world, it shows over here, and now it doesn't show. So for this video is that. I hope you guys understand everything that I've said. If you don't, please leave a comment below. I try to explain everything. I'm sorry about my English, but I'm trying to improve it for the next videos. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you can. This will help me a lot. And see you in the next video. Goodbye.